He is Tom Curran, NBC Sports, Boston, and covering the Patriots there. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, Dan, what are you doing?
Just curious about the Patriots losing their coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators. Saw some of your tweets last night. Is it a foregone conclusion you're losing both Matt Patricia and Josh McDaniels?
Unless something absolutely bizarro happens, yeah, they're both gone. And I think it's time in a lot of ways, and I understand why they would go, too.
Is it time?
I left that dangling in case you wanted to ask.
Yeah, but it feels like Matt Patricia is more valuable of the two coordinators, or am I reading more into that?
I think you're reading more into it. I think that both of them, that's part of the reason it's time. There's a kid, Brian Flores, who's their linebackers coach, who is behind Patricia. He's the defensive coordinator in waiting. He'll most likely ascend. He's a very promising young guy. Arizona actually had him out for an interview as a head coaching candidate. And then Chad O'Shea would come up and replace McDaniels. And I think Josh has passed on so many interviews and opportunities over the years that I think with Tom Brady at 40, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and seek something else. Because if you look at this team and the depth of it, and aside from the quarterback and the tight end, there's a lot of duct tape and, wire holding this team together at this point. So if I'm a guy who's hoping for a head coaching job, I go after we're 13-3 and don't wait to go 10-6.
All right. So Patricia to the Lions, Josh McDaniels to the Colts. Are you curious about, did Patricia turn down the Giants, and are you curious or surprised that McDaniels would want to go into that Colts situation?
From what I understand about Josh and the Colts situation, he feels so comfortable with Chris Ballard that was the place that he kind of wanted to be all along. And that's even with Andrew Luck notwithstanding. I know that Jim Irsay is obviously a wild card to end all wild cards, but McDaniel's relationship with Ballard is such that they're going to be able to share a vision. And that's important because when he was in Denver, the second he got there, he had so much support from Pat Bowlen, but candidly, he was starting to deal with the early stages of Alzheimer's and dementia, and he was forgetting conversations that he had, and that really is what led to the problem with Jay Cutler. And once that went south, then there were other machinations and palace intrigue that involved itself. Here, I think he feels comfortable in that Ballard and he share a vision. As far as Patricia, I don't know how close it got with the Giants. That felt odd to me that he suddenly emerged as their leading candidate. It seemed like a stretch.
Was there any surprise with how the Patriots played, considering all the so-called drama off the field, and would that have an adverse effect? I mean, we shouldn't be surprised at this, but did you see anything that would be curious or alarming with what you saw?
No, I didn't. I think what will be interesting going forward is now that these guys are committed to go, Dan, all of these coaches always take with them a few lieutenants, whether it's locker room lieutenants or coaching staff lieutenants or support staff lieutenants. And with both of these guys going someplace else, I think that obviously Bill Belichick will have had a conversation. Look, I don't want you raiding the cupboard here. I'd like to see some of my coaches and staff stick around. Because that's what led to an issue with Eric Mangini in 2006. When Mangini went to the Jets, he basically was walking around saying, hey, you know where I'll be? Do you want to come along?
Uh-oh.
And that's what led to their ugly divorce.
He's Tom Curran, NBC Sports Boston, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. We know Tom Coughlin had the blueprint to beat the Patriots a couple of times when he was the head coach of the Giants. Now that he's in the front office with Jacksonville, looking at Jacksonville's roster, does Jacksonville have the opportunity to put that same blueprint into play this weekend?
Defensively, absolutely. They have a defense that if the Patriots, if Jacksonville plays fundamentally well and doesn't get all overhyped and trying to play the tougher-than-thou hard-ass game that they did with the Steelers, they'll be fine. And they can compete on the outside. They do things that the Patriots have problems with. They have Calais Campbell, who's a house. He'll be able to get upfield. They'll be able to cover the outside receivers because they have corners that are better than the outside receivers. So then it'll come down to holding down Gronk, and you could even send Jalen Ramsey at Gronk. But the problem, I think, defensively for them is as we saw the Pittsburgh game. They lost their discipline as the game went along, and they were also, the way they rush leaves alleys and leaves gaps. So the Patriots will probably be able to take advantage of that at some point. It might happen later rather than sooner. But then offensively, the Patriots, I mean, you can't in 2018, you can't just say we're going to try and run the ball. It doesn't work. You have to throw it a little bit. And the Patriots are too good to let them beat them offensively, I think. So if they get over 17 points, I'd be stunned.
Level of confidence in New England is what?
In the region of New England?
Well, Patriots country.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant my level of confidence.
Okay, I'll start with that. How is your level of confidence, Tom?
Generally high, but I do think that Jacksonville can take a chunk out of the Patriots defensively. I mean, they made Ben Roethlisberger look legitimately scared the other day. And they scored just with him throwing punts that people ran under. So that said, I think the Patriots don't generally do that, so I'm not seeing 42 points this week. However, I think the overall feeling here is, boy, I wonder how cold it'll be in Minneapolis. Do you think I need this to go?
Wow.
If we're going to be in the Twin Cities?
Would you bet a toe against $100,000 that the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl?
A toe?
Yeah. Any toe of your choice.
Toe?
Yeah. But only one.
100,000? No, 100,000 is not enough money.
Okay, you're not that confident.
I just don't think $100,000 is worth a toe.
Are you toe confident? That's really what it comes down to. And you can ask Brady this. Hey, Tom, are you toe confident?
I would give up the top half of my right ear. I would bet the top half of my right ear.
I'm looking at those ears. You've got a lot to give up there.
I could have gone nose. That thing would have been easy too. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
What if you have to give up the top of your ear with Tyson taking the top of your ear?
For $100,000?
Yeah.
All right. As long as there's a doctor on hand to sterilize that thing afterwards, because you can imagine the spittle that'll be all over it.
I'm going to let Brady's doctor, his health guru, he's going to do it.
He doesn't do amputations.
Hey, right. I'll see you in Minneapolis.
Yeah, you will. This will be fun. I still have all the stuff you gave us last week. Last year. You bringing stuff this year too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. I'll hang around the set.
Are you going if the Patriots don't go?
Dan, I'm going to go irregardless.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. All right, well then I'll see you there in Minneapolis.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, that's Tom E. Curran, NBC Sports Boston. He's a knucklehead.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.